You know that saying, if it looks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Well, not this time. What I'm holding looks exactly like a guitar. 6 strings, a neck, a body, but it's not a guitar at all. Today I'll show you what it really is, how it works, and why it might be useful. Aeroband sent me this instrument for review, but I'll try to be objective. I'll show you both the strong points and the weak spots. And yes, I can already hear the purists, the real wood-only crowd. Don't worry guys, I'm one of you. I studied classical guitar on a wooden instrument in a conservatory with all the traditional mindset. But I've always liked technologies. I love gadgets, I love smart devices, as long as they can be used to make real music. So let's see what Aeroband can actually do. The Aeroband is modular. You click the neck into the body and in a few seconds it's ready. The fretboard looks familiar, frets are where you'd expect them, but there are no real strings, only silicone strips, touch sensors. Your left hand still falls into chord shapes naturally, but you don't need any pressure, just touch and the note plays. Under the right hand there is a short section of real strings. They don't produce pitch, but they give you that metallic snap when you strum. So the picking hand still feels close to a real guitar. And yes, it's always in tune. Inside there are 9 built-in sounds: acoustic, classical, electric, bass, piano, even banjo. Switching is just one button. And the built-in 30-watt speaker is actually louder than many acoustic guitars, so you don't even need an amp. It also has a kind of digital capo. Press a button and the whole tuning shifts instantly. And the frets light up with LEDs, showing what notes you're pressing or which chord you should play. Looks pretty cool. The app has a beginner mode. You pick a key, say C major, and you don't need to know any chord shapes. You just move one simple shape along the neck and it gives you all the chords in the key. Of course, that's not how you really learn guitar. Your hands don't memorize actual chords, but it's perfect if you're a singer who wants some backing or if you just want to jam along. And when you combine this with these two instruments later, it becomes even more interesting. On the bridge there is a mute bar. Touch it and the sound cuts off. You can also assign it to percussion, so a tap gives you a percussive hit. In the app you can enable hammer-ons, pull-offs and slides. They work well, though one limitation remains: you can't pull off to an open string yet, so some techniques don't fully translate. You can also change tunings right inside the app. It includes a wide range of popular guitar tunings from standard and drop D to open tunings, which makes experimenting and switching between styles incredibly easy. To understand Aeroband, let's go back. In 1983, MIDI became a standard. Musicians could suddenly connect synth and computers. Then came the Syntax in 1985, a futuristic instrument with no vibrating strings, only sensors. It worked great, but cost as much as a car, £10,000. Only about 100 were ever made. In 1988, Casio released MG510. It looked like a Strat, but each string had a MIDI pickup. The problem was latency, up to 50 milliseconds, unplayable. Later, there were many more attempts to build a MIDI guitar, but each of them had its own quirks and limitations. Aeroband feels like the next step. The familiar guitar shape, a sensor neck and stable tracking, but at a price musicians can't actually afford. For keyboard players, MIDI has always meant freedom. They can play anything: orchestras, choirs, synth, even animal sounds. Guitarists, on the other hand, were stuck with amps and pedals. Aeroband doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it makes MIDI truly practical for guitarists. It's compact, portable, and supports polyphonic MIDI. Each string can send on its own channel. That's called channel per string, and it's a big deal. Suddenly you can play instruments you've never studied. And here's where it gets really fun. Many VST instruments come with built-in presets. Arpeggiators, rhythmic patterns, textures. You just hold chords and they generate complex, interesting patterns. Remember I told you about simplified chords? Watch how perfectly they work with these plugins. One simple shape and suddenly you're playing something that sounds like a full production. When you play by hand, you get groove. The pick changes velocity, the fingers create legato. All of this is recorded in the DAW as MIDI. Note length, attack, dynamics. Later you can quantize and fix notes, but the human feel comes straight from your hands. That's something you can't get by just clicking notes in a piano roll. There is one feature that's especially important to me. I work a lot with notation, arranging, creating educational materials for Patreon for my students, and this is where Aeroband really speeds things up. If I write tabs manually in Guitar Pro, it takes time. But with Aeroband, everything goes straight into notes and tabs, exactly the way I played it. The key is that Aeroband sends a polyphonic MIDI signal in MPE mode, MIDI polyphonic expression, which means each string has its own channel. So Guitar Pro instantly understands which string I played the note on, even if it's the same pitch. The fingerings are preserved and the tabs look exactly the way I actually played them. It saves hours of work. And of course, the big question, where are the bends? Without bends, is it even a guitar? But this is MIDI, come on guys, if you want bends, you program them in the plugin. Sure, it's not the same as pulling a string on a Les Paul, but you can set exact ranges, quarter tones, vibrato that never goes out of tune. It's not worse, it's just different, and if you really need the feel of bending strings, you can always switch back to a real guitar. So, what is Aeroband really? It's not a replacement for a traditional guitar. It doesn't even try to be. It's something else. For beginners, it can be an easy way to start making music. For people who can't play a regular guitar anymore, it can give them a chance to keep playing. For me, it's mainly a powerful MIDI controller, compact, portable, and useful for arranging and composing. But at the same time, it's just fun. You can take it on a trip, jam on the built-in sounds, instantly switch tunings, or turn a simple guitar line into an orchestra or a choir. If you're a purist looking for the resonance of wood and the push and pull of real strings, this won't replace it. And that's fine, because it's not meant to replace your guitar, it's meant to give you something new, and maybe that's the whole point. If the idea of turning from guitarist into orchestra conductor in 10 seconds excites you, then Aeroband might just become your new favorite toy. And I do mean toy in the best possible way. This is not a guitar, and that's its strength. Thanks for watching. If you think this guitar might be the right fit for you, I've left a link in the description, and you can also use my promo code for a discount.